These reminders are for all those who are already taking some initiative to bring in consciousness in their life. And it can be also for those who sincerely want to begin and want to go intensely into allowing a deliberate and deep step towards getting clarity, towards understanding oneself, towards attuning to life the way it really is. So these are not reminders just which can be gone about in a by the side way. These are some things which you need to inwardly decide to work with, to put it into practice. Because these are connected with very basic areas of our unconscious and automatic process which is going on in our life. So bringing attention to these aspects won't be so easy at first. There will be always all kind of undercurrent challenges, resistances, strategies from the automatism itself which will make it more difficult to encounter these things. But when you see that your part is to stay observant, not identify with the reactions but just mirror it, then you will be able to go deeper with it. These are basically two sets of questionings which you are doing. The first set of questioning is, what is happening when there is critical reaction coming from the others? Ordinarily, our automatism is programmed in such a way that we go into a defensive state, attacking, covering up, trying to keep the image, trying to not get touched. These are part of the strategies which are there in the unconscious automatism. But when you bring attention to these aspects, you will be surprised what a value it has for you. Because when you can watch yourself moving into all these kind of automatic reactions and be open to consider what is criticized, what is happening into you, and also through that become aware of this unconscious identification with the personality, with the image, with the role. So it is doing many important factors in your working with it, that it helps you to gain inwardly a certain distance to all that what is unconsciously taking place in you, and therefore you become capable to give room for the intelligence. Otherwise, we are not giving room for our intelligence in a deep sense. The automatism is using some aspects which one can say a kind of cleverness to keep the status quo, not to get touched, to save the image. And that what looks like saving oneself. But if you see that your true self is not this unconscious automatic reaction process, that your true reality is deeper and that you can only experience when you are not identifying with any aspect, but simply mirroring. And in this process of mirroring, remembering that it can lead you to a state of deep inner quietness, relaxation, silence. This state of silence where you are wakeful and present and being in touch with all what is taking place, that is the basic framework in which you can become available for life in a deep sense, in which you can experience who you are, what you are in your authentic state. So this is the direction. And to enable that this can be happening in the interconnections, in the interactions with others, take 3 times a day some period, and it will be best when it is associated with an activity which you have to do. For example, you are going to the toilet. After the toilet, just take few minutes to look at yourself consciously, critically. What does it mean to look critically? It simply means that you are ready to see what is all taking place inside without trying to cover up anything, without trying to make it look present, without trying to hold to an image. It's a conscious step of looking, just like someone else who is totally new is looking at you. It is not looking to find some mistakes and to criticize and to judge. That's not what I mean. A critical way of looking means a conscious way of mirroring everything, the subtlest factors, the undercurrent, fears, desires, identification, clinging. And this is what is very, very important for going deep, that you decide before you go into the whole thing that you want to face yourself, you want to look at all these things, that you are ready to consciously bring attention to see what is there. Why is it so important? You will see it in the process of working with it, but I can give you some hints which you will also come to realize. That is, when you can be critically observing everything in you, you are gaining a certain state of rootedness in your beingness. You are gaining a certain state of non-identification without automatically being bound to any role or any goal. And this is very valuable because as you can stay with it in this quality of mirroring, this quality of observing, you will start seeing many aspects, many undercurrent, interconnected factors which otherwise was not transparent to you, which you previously could not see because the automatism was always bringing the energy and labeling everything in certain ways, and there it was finishing. So this is an opening to the wholeness of the reality, opening to an inclusive way of experiencing the reality in its fullness. That is why it is so significant when you can just remember to mirror in a critical, conscious way. So this is the first thing, first reminder. And the second reminder is very much related to this, but approaching from another angle. That is, to ask yourself, are there any things which I have not confronted and cleared in myself? Are there fears? Are there calculations? Are there identifications? Are there hurt feelings? Are there any shadow state which is somehow not confronted by you, which has not become conscious to you? This is how you can clear that what can entangle you before it really entangles you. Because all what we carry, when it gets touched in an unconscious state, it can overtake and affect our reaction. But when you notice, what am I carrying in me? What are the things which are working in me? Where are the blockage? Where are the hurt feelings? Where is the pain? Where is the sadness? Where is disappointment? Where is resignation? When you let it all become visible to yourself, then you are coming to a certain state of inner mastery of yourself. Because you come to realize that the more you are aware of all what you carry unconsciously, the less you can be manipulated, the less you can get provoked from anybody outside in a blind way that you get into some automatic, uncreative processes. So this is the second one, and this also bring it very deliberately into consideration. Take 3 times a day, 5 to 10 minutes, just to question these things. And if you feel it will be good to take a little more time, that is fine, but at least 5 to 10 minutes. So that you get a glimpse, so that you get a feel of what are the things which are working in you. And then when you feel that it will be good to look into it more, take time more, so that all the energy which is trapped in these areas can be released, can become clear. And this is also what is the most beautiful thing in our human potential, that as we see things which are working in us, as we bring attention to that, what can entangle us, then the energy which is trapped in it becomes free. And this is what makes us capable to live the life in its fullness. Because all the energy which is trapped in all kind of conflicts and confusions and entanglements, when they can be looked and released and cleared, then you can be with the moment as totally, as energetically. Only when you encounter these things very deeply, you come to realize, oh, these were the things working in me. These are the things which are behind my anger, behind my negative feelings. Very often we are irritated because certain things are getting touched or certain things are not working in a certain way. And we just stay with that kind of shadow feeling. But you have to look, what is behind this anger? You will be surprised. Behind the anger, there may be fear. There may be some kind of deep anxiety that something uncertain can happen when you let that reach you. So, as it becomes more and more conscious to you and you see what is the nature of the reality, then you can become free from this automatic and unconscious process which otherwise is blocking your whole creative, intelligent, loving way of living life. So bring these 2 reminders very carefully into practice, and that will be very supportive for everybody who attempt to practice it at least for 3 weeks to get a feel what it does to you. Take the initiative, go with an inner determination and go wholeheartedly into playing with these reminders. It has to be a playful approach. It's not a struggle and serious approach which is required, but a sincere but playful approach. So that it's a kind of discovering what is there. It is not trying to put yourself in a kind of label and categorize you in some kind of way. It is simply to discover yourself. It is being a friend to yourself and understanding yourself. What is the direction of all these reminders? So approach it with this basic orientation like that. Okay.